Alright, alright, alright. We are live. I'm curious. I made some updates. Okay, that looks okay. Not perfect. Okay. So we have a few quests to do, including, I believe we have main story quests to do. Yeah, we have some main story quests to do, because we did it last time we were on. We were uh, playing with Mike and got the main story quest part done. Oh, nice. There it is. Okay, so let's 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 do this work on the main storyline to start with, and then we'll go do the other quests I have to turn in, just in case Mike's able to get on tonight. All right, Alpha Node. So we're gonna head over here to Alpha Node. Ah, there he is. Did I not tell you he would return safe and sound? The deed is done then? Titan is no more? For now. Good, there has been enough tragedy this day. He has been like that since he regained consciousness. We believe he can hear us, but he has made no to respond. Yon is certainly still in shock, but we cannot discount the possibility this succumbed to the primal's influence, should that prove to be the case. He must be put to death, like any other thrall. Such is the Alliance's policy, yes. Yeah, the right of it. But it was not rush to conclusion. After all, we once feared that Yasiel's followers were beyond reason, and many have since laid down their arms and set that Ishgard's peace. But we can watch, wait, and pray. There is not to be gained from dwelling on eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which we must never come to pass. Let us tend to more immediate matters. A foreign commander blowed in of Titan's demise, for example. You may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Would you be so kind as to break it to him? Rawr, rawr, rawr. Looks like Green Santa. Yeah, you are a sight for sore eyes. Others came back without you. I feared the worst, but they said you had matters well in hand. All settled then? I'm glad to hear it, but not half as glad as my men will be. Believe me, in you. Believe you me. Regardless of whether or not he was sung properly, a primal's a primal, and there ain't a soul in the maelstrom that hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, like we were all prepared to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think that we'd live to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, it didn't come to that, which my friend sounds to me like the cause for celebration. Now, I know you have a lot of places to be, but why not stay the night? We would be honored to raise a glass in the triumphant return of Titan's Bane.
Who goes there? Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. It's so quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences. Yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. Nevertheless, I had to believe he had good reason. I was determined to uncover the whole truth of the calamity and, perhaps in so doing, find my own purpose in this sea of chaos. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled Grandfather's words to my father, years ago, before he left Sharlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard. Gods! They must have been at each other's throats from dawn till dusk. I dare say you managed to keep the peace, though. Merely being in the presence of the Warrior of Light is surely enough to shame anyone into behaving. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, Warrior of Light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on, for the sake of those we hold dear.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say! It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts, and thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation. Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the
Arya, how's it
Arbor
going?
belongeth not unto the Ascians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
Aren't you done with that yet?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Very well. Draw him out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done.
How many seasons are there even?
What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts
Took quite
soothed?
a bit then.
What lives saved? Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness. Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
Okay, so let's go over here. Talk to Alphanut some more. So you still got quite a bit then to watch. But ho, Logan, I trust you had a good night rest. I was but this moment speaking with Tancred and Yashala via Link Pearl. They had some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of their respective investigations, both came across the crates, which were once born Ishgarian seals. 'Twould seem that someone in the capital has been very busy indeed. Accordingly, the Temple Knights have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Enric believes that only a matter of time before the culprits are found, but we shall have to wait and see. In the meantime, it seems only prudent to look into the resilient activities of the other tribes, in case they too are flush with Asgardian crystals, and with that in mind, I suggest we play Ernger, another... Wait, where's Elise? She was here a minute ago with Gabu. Well, I guess you got your entertainment for a while with The Walking Dead still. Did you notice the difference on the announcement for the Discord server? Ah, let me guess, it's time to leave, isn't it? My apologies for disappearing again. If any consolation, I've already packed my things. How is he? Brother, Commander Bloden, something tells me you're not solely here out of concern for his welfare. But to answer your question, there has been no change. He will not speak or eat. I'm not even sure if he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with the same expression on his face. You will look after him, won't you, Commander, and treat him with every kindness? He's still in there, I know it. Beneath the anguish and despair, he's still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given that chance until he comes back to us, until we know for certain what has become of him. Aye, you needn't worry. We haven't risked his neck to warn us and help you secure the better part of the crystals. This could have turned out damn sight worse than it did. We'll not soon forget that, and nor will Maelstrom Command. And the Discord server I made it so that way it automatically notifies. I'm so sorry, Gabu. I truly am. You should never have made it to, and I know I can't possibly understand. Mayhap there is nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, the helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of better times, and remember them as they were. And when it hurts so much your heart feels it burst, let it burst, and fill up again with your love for them, and never ever forget. Come along, little one. I will remember them. And you, Alice, thank you. What, Erica? Have faith, sister. Your words have reached him. In time, he will recover. And those who archive those events will be made to answer for their crimes. A thousand times or I, there will be reckoning. Yeah, I made it so that way, whenever I go live, it should automatically show there. But I don't think it notifies everyone by doing that, like at everyone. So I probably need to update that a little bit more. But it was a neat little feature. Today was the first day of trying it out, so I need to look into that more. Okay, we're going to go to the Walking Sands now. So let's go to Horizon. Go for a ride. So yeah, if you're like in the server and you go to going live, you'll see that there's the 3 options for Twitch and Kick and YouTube. I think I just need to edit the message so that way it says at everyone. So that way it automatically does that. But yeah, I mean, so that way it automatically shows up in the Discord now. Playing around with one of the tools I had a little bit, and I saw that feature, so I figured I'd give it a try. But not all 3 of the services should be working together, so that way none of them really overlap. I added that followers banner there. I could add more of them for each one, but since Twitch is the only one that actually has anything going for it, really, I figured I'd just put the Twitch one there. We have heard the glad tidings from O Gomara, my friends. By the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Lasima may rest easy. I should like to think so. Yes, though we failed to prevent the Lord of Craigs from manifesting, we did succeed in weakening enabling our friend to dispatch him before the Warrior of Darkness can make matters worse. To us, no means unmitigated success, but it will have to suffice. When I speak of another matter, one which weighs heavily on my lady's mind. As thou did request, I sought out the Grinning Articles, that we might better understand the aims of the warrior. Though the copious use of Algany Diaf, any single interpretation, the articles paint a most disturbing picture, one of world parallel to our own, yet linked. 7 times had they succeeded, then 10 out of the 3, only 6 worlds remain. I, all of my lady Menethus, spake into us. As for what became the revolutions when they become the source or rejoined, frail flesh undone by umbral flyers, each soul surrender to her call to flow into the endless sea. There is endure as one and none. Then, if the wars of darkness succeed, everyone in the world will die. In essence, I, the verse speaks of the renucleation of flesh and substance. However, this fate may yet be preferable to alternative. The first to fall to translucent light in the manner the warriors of darkness described, it would give into the void where none may know either life or death. Far better to die, they reason, for in death there is life. The essence of soul which will reunite into the source may be born anew, saved. Such at last is their belief. If that is true, then gods, no one should ever have to make such a choice. Ere we speak further on the subject, I've shared with thee another reason. It would seem that several sizable shipments of crystal have been delivered into the hands of certain Almagian parties. Almagians? Strange, and you believe this be the work of the same Ishgardian smugglers who supplied the beast tribes? I know beyond a shadow of doubt, at least we shall wonder at their motive. I would remind you that the Ascians did once attempt to bring the summoner of Ryklar. The individuals who took receipt of the shipments are refugees belonging to the group devoted to the cause of Almagian Federation. It may also interest thee to know that their Ishgardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remnants of Elaine Rosella's network of spies. Surely, yes, and not yet, is not so surprising. Bereft of leadership and hunted by the Alliance, I can well imagine such villains being desperate enough to conspire with the Ascians, assuming they even know or care who their new employers are. All which is irrelevant. Forgive me. We must seek out the resistance group which received the crystals without delay. Logan, at least, will you come with me to Little Omega? Yes, of course. I should like to hear what they have to say for themselves firsthand. May you walk in the light of the crystal. Alvin, at least, Logan, are you three listening? Good, I have tidings. The Temple Knights raided the smuggler's warehouse less than an hour ago. A curious investigation of the prisoners yielded confirmation that they were an employee of, and I hope you're sitting down, a man in black robes. Did you have them? And the crystals too? What few remained, regrettably, it would seem that they dispatched one final shipment the hour before we struck. 'Twas bound for Little Omega, we were told, where it will be received by members of the local resistance group. Since Sir Emmerich men no longer have need of my service, I have mine to head that way. As do we, by happy coincidence, we learned in the ships but a few moments ago. Ha, and there I was thinking I might finally be one step ahead of the warrior light and his little helpers. Wait a moment. There is more, and I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The latter, the Ishgardian smugglers were formerly in the employ of one of Elaine Roselle, the infamous Ivy herself. Once again, Thinker, I must inform you that. Thinker, with all whom else have you shared this information? About smugglers? No one. As I think I mentioned, the raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact Yashala next, but there's someone else you would have to be notified first? No, there isn't. What in the world has gotten into her? It was twice now that we have sought her aid, and twice she has treated him as if he were a stranger. The Archon was one of the grandfather's most dedicated pupils and spent as much time as the Leviathan estate as we did. He's practically a member of the family. Truth be told, I struggle to recall a day from my childhood when I did not see the three of them laughing together. If this continue, I may have to raise the matter. Letter, though, Little Amigo awaits. To Little Amigo. I do want to look at it. We'll get to the bottom of this. Oh, forgive me. It's been a long day. Did you have something to say? Ernger? Oh, I've always struggled to understand what's going on in his head. Now more than ever. Listen, Logan, if anything should happen, it should be me who just know that I am prepared to do what must be done. Right then, to more pressing matters. Since we have no idea when Thancred might arrive, I suggest we see what information we can gather in his absence. So to review, we were reliably informed that the members of the Almagian resistance operating here have taken receipt of several large shipments of crystals, or tasks being to ascertain who and why. Given the size of the shipment, I find it hard to believe that anyone here could be wholly unaware of the resistance movement. The challenge, of course, will be finding the individuals who are both able and willing to share such information with outsiders. It would seem sensible to divide our forces. Logan, why don't you question the residents in the eastern half of town? Alice and I will do the same in the west, and afterwards we can redemnize here to share our findings. Well, go find some people. Here's someone. Cyphered. Let me guess. Come to join the fight, have you? No need to deny it, friend. You're not the first to answer the Griffin's call. While he's lit a fire in every Almegan's heart, he's also inspired more than a few Aldanians to pledge themselves to the cause, and little wonder, the Garleans won't stop until we're all under the yoke. I see you there, going around asking questions, looking for the Griffin and his lot, I bet. Seems that they're talking a little Mako these days. Folk wondering what he's about, what he's got in store for the Guardians, and what's under the mask of his, of course. Some say he's hardly got a faith that what with all the scars. Others reckon he's been marked for death by the Empire, and that they sent a bloody legion they knew if he was here. Smart. I guess as good as mine. Eh? The Resistance? Damned if I know. It's not as if I'd be any use to them. You set store by all these tales of secret weapons good luck to you, but I'm too old for the mass bedtime stories. This is our lot, and it's time we got to use it. I suppose I should ask what you learned, but I think I already know. The Griffin seems to be the leader of the newly formed faction within the Resistance, the Mask. Yet, despite their growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them. only that the most aggressively militant group joined the movement in recent memory. Indeed, many claim their commitment to the cause of Almaganian liberation is unraveled. We can't but hope the revolutionary fever is never channeled in the direction of a primal. Though I feel confident that this is the group which received the crystallis shipments, we yet lack proof. Before taking any action, I will speak with the settlement's leader to confirm my suspicions, and mayhap enlist his help while I am about it. Given that you and Goldbart are already acquainted, mayhap you'd be best to take if you took the lead, shall we? Much as it pleases me to see you again, Logan, I cannot help but wonder if I should be worried. I hear you and yours have been asking questions. The Griffin? Aye, I know of him, as do we all. He and his masks have become a leading faction within the Resistance. Though there was suspicion at first, given his secretive ways, he quickly proved himself a charismatic and capable commander. Men are drawn to his passion and his vision. They truly believe that he has what it takes to lead them to victory. Even I cannot help but admire the man for what he's accomplished, but I have not forgotten Wildred. He was blind to the danger of his ambitions, and you were not. The Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the sunken temple of Karn. Go and see him with your own eyes. Weigh his words with your own heart. How convenient. 'Tis was but a pity Tinker is not here to join us. You two go on ahead. I shall stay behind and wait for him. Arya, you want to block him out? Has it begun already? I hear voices coming from within.
Brothers and sisters, 20 years ago, Ala Mhigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north. With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled. Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same. We abandoned them.
Oh, no worries.
Our own flesh and blood to
That's a good
labor
spot for
till
me to do
their
it anyways.
backs gave in and their breath gave out.
building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains. We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country, or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery. The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Ala Mhigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful. You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it. Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us, and they have murdered us. But no more! Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands.
I got it. It's no biggie.
This
Most of those
I
only do it
promise
once
you,
anyways.
For we have
It's
a
not like a
power
big
within
rush.
us, my friends. A power befitting our pride, our righteousness.
The only reason why I did is because I had
Only
told him.
join us,
Good,
and
'cause the
we
video.
shall grant you the means to unleash it. And together, we shall see the Ala Mhigan standard raised over the mountains of Gia Arbania once more.
Hey, learning experience.
A power befitting their pride. Not at all ominous, that. Wait, is that...
What are you two doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
More scions found.
Well, well, this is quite the surprise.
If you see what I see, if you feel as I feel...
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
For it is not strength of arms that will win this battle, but strength of heart.
Interesting. Aw, you're not even going to do it in a cutscene there? Rude. Words can express how glad I am to see you both alive and well. And you, though it was pretty obvious, you and Loganwood, the Crystal Braves never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions, divided as they were and distrusted by better parts of Eorzea. But if you truly believe that, forgive me, what exactly have you two been doing all this time? Repaying a favor. After the banquet, we had no choice but to flee Udar, and we would not have been able to do so without the aid of some old friends from the Resistance. That's right, they smuggled us out of the city and sheltered us in Ala Mhigo, all the great risks to themselves. Obviously, we couldn't let that go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them out with their operations for a while. When we learned the Scion's extortion that Lorito had served all the ties with the Crystal Braves and General Raban has been reinstated, we resolved to make contact, but having long since discarded all our link pearls as a precautionary measure, our options were rather limited. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with little choice but to entrust a letter to a courier. I gather your puzzled expressions, however, you never received it. be honest, we thought this might happen. While the Mats are happy to let the refugees spread the word within the community, they're pretty strict about communicating with outsiders. Oh, and we were also heard a rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs. The Griffin mistrusts the silence of the Seventh Dawn. Curious, it is well known that we are no friends to Garlemald. One would think the man we saw beseeching all and sundry to join his cause would welcome our support. I should say that the man you saw was not in fact the Griffin, but an impersonator and a talented rabble-rouser to boot. It would not surprise me if he were reasonable for the majority of these public appearances. As you may have gathered, the Griffin is extremely cautious and distraughting man who would make every effort to conceal his identity. Even when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him. It's hard to know what makes it of it all. The secrecy, the impersonators, the masks. But if it's not making you all wear one, and mine only covers half my face, it's completely different. Anyway, when we heard the Griffin was due to give a speech, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man behind the, For all the good it did. And now you have heard the whole of it, but tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in the Griffin? Summoning? You're not serious. I can't believe it. The Resistance would never even entertain a ridiculous plan, but the Griffin, well, the man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence what he would or would not do. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. The mass have been made such claims of late. I confess I assumed it mere bluster, but in the context of the shipment of which you spoke of, it is not impossible that they are alluding to a primal. Whatever it is, we'll find it out together, and if anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. Indeed, that is, assuming you'll have us. If, as you suspect, the Griffin's indeed plotting to summon a primal, we must need to obtain confirmation while there is yet time to act. To that end, I have proposed a question of his double. Given his role as the group's de facto mouthpiece, I should not be surprised if he were one of the Griffin's closest associates. While he may not be aware of the most sensitive details, he can probably tell us of the mask's plans in broad strokes. Like the man who he impersonates, however, he is wary of outsiders. He will not expose himself without a suitable incentive. The plan is as follows. You and Alphinaud oppose his ventures fallen on hard times, inspired by his words to take up arms for a noble cause. Yada and I, members of the Resistance, recount tales of your past achievements and testify as your usefulness in struggles ahead. With our enthusiastic assurances still ringing in his ears, he will decide to welcome you in person, and we will arrange in a meeting. You'll need to look the part that we might maintain the charade until we have him cornered, at least. Here, this should be enough to purchase suitable garments from Talbot, and have him rub a respectable amount of dirt on them for good measure. Any questions? It all seems simple enough, thank you, and what that, Logan, let us be off. So do you even get on KOA anymore? Or is that what you were on earlier? Were you on KOA earlier? Is that what you were doing? Huh? You by what? I don't know what you're up to, but I want no part of it. Well, you're the ones with the guilt, and seeing as your friends have Palpamel. There, tunic and slots for the both of you, tailored and treated to your taste. Now off with you before someone sees us together. Close maketh the man, as they say. Right then, I'll go ahead and change and see at the spot. Popular marked on our maps. Yeah, I'm actually kind of getting to the point where this might be my last Fae. It just made it so hard to do anything. Unless you're spending a ton of money. I told Roman though that I won't stop playing until we find a good way to still talk, you know. Most of the lines, you know, can talk through Discord and stuff, but he doesn't have a Discord. Well, look at us, a pair of down-at-heel adventurers seeking a chance to recapture our past glories. Yes, this should suffice. And now we play the waiting game.
My thanks, comrades. You must be the esteemed adventurers of whom I've heard so much. I understand you have taken an interest in our cause.
A great interest, you might say. Your words have certainly made quite an impression on my friend and I. The Resistance has long, and some would say wisely, avoided open engagements with the Garleans, but you and yours seem confident against the world in arms. I can only assume you have good reason to be so bold. Why, one might even think you are planning to summon a primal. Because that would do much to explain the sizable shipment of crystals you recently received from your smuggler friends, whom our Ishgardian allies have since detained, lest you wonder.
I'd like to hear more about the Griffin. The real Griffin. Your performance earlier didn't fool us.
Ah, the famous scions of the Seventh Dawn. I should have known better than to think I could conceal the truth from you lot. You are right. I am not the Griffin, but I speak with his voice, and it was at his behest that we procured those crystals. You are wrong, however, if you think that we procured them to summon a primal. We used them to reach an accord with the Amalja. In exchange for crystals to summon their god, they will aid us in the fight for Ala Mhigan liberation.
You've got to be joking. Have you gone completely mad? When people find out you helped the Lizardmen summon Ifrit, they'll turn on the Resistance. Ala Mhigo will never be free.
This isn't a fairy tale, girl. We don't have the luxury to play at being honourable heroes. It's because the likes of you wouldn't sully your saintly hands that Ala Mhigo's been under the yoke for the past 20 years. But the Griffin won't stand for it, and neither will we. We're ready to do whatever it takes.
What proof do you have of this arrangement with the Amalj'aa?
What? Aside from a lack of crystals? None. But the Beastmen have a great big pile of the things if you fancy looking. You might want to hurry, though. It'll not be long before they summon their god. Search our camp if you don't believe me. We have naught to hide.
If there is a cache to be found, Ida and I will find it.
Then let us be off. Are you perchance the Warrior of Light? Aye. I thought so. You should know that a great many who have joined us did so because you saved them. Because you showed them that one brave man can make a difference. You saved me too once. Helped a friend over in Quarry Mill make some medicine I needed. But that was a lifetime ago. On behalf of my brothers and sisters, I thank you. You gave us hope where there was none, courage and strength when all was lost. We shall not squander your gift.
I know that look, Ida, and I do not like it. You cannot seriously be contemplating taking up arms with that band of cutthroats.
I just...
If the Griffin and his men have their way, it is only a matter of time before the situation in Ala Mhigo comes to a head. Your homeland's future teeters on a knife edge, and any reckless action, however small, could have irrevocable consequences. You mustn't lose sight of that, Ida. When the time comes, we must all make our choices, but we must do so in full possession of the facts. Now, let us away. There is work to be done.
Quarry Mill, he said? Do you remember? Forgive me, you cannot be expected to recall every name and face, and besides, it's not as if it matters. I've long admired you, how you live in the present, how you focus on the problems at hand, and always keep moving forward. So let's keep moving forward together, Logan. We must find and secure those crystals. This is no time for looking back. You know, I'm just gonna take that. we take the Griffin's devil at his word, then the crystals are now somewhere in the Zarkar, ready to put to use by the Amaja. We must appraise Elise of all we have learned. I will join you both in a little amigo after I have changed. Now that Thinker has finally arrived, maybe you could share your latest findings? You can tell me that while we were worrying ourselves sick, Yada and Poplar were here all along? Well, Yashao will be relieved and also angry. Mainly angry, I should think. As for the crystals, what choice do we have? We cannot very well leave them in the hands of the Maja. For all we know, they could be preparing to summon Infernal even as we speak. We must make for Zakaria without delay. Agreed, there is naught else to discuss. Let us depart at once. And so they go forth in accordance with the Griffin's plan. The players gather to assume their marks on a stage weathered in flame. Ere long, the curtain shall rise, and drama of which I am author, God forgive me, shall be at last be performed. None else remains, save to stand at the ready and pray for that the chance is seized, for never shall we know it like it again. I confess, I expected a warmer greeting, but we are not jumped to conclusions, not until we have braved the bowels of Ember. Bowl of Amber. We must be ready to engage the enemy at any moment. If you would make any final preparations, pray do so now. I shall await your signal. Proceed.
This isn't right. The Amaja would never leave this place so poorly guarded.
Not willingly, no.
The saviors of Eorzea. Slow as ever.
By the 12, will you never learn?
You know, you're right. Mayhap it is time for a change of tack. Killing primals, tormenting beastmen, hastening the birth of a new god. It's all a bit much, isn't it? And frankly, we don't have the leisure to do it. But killing the Warrior of Light, on the other hand, that would soon plunge Eorzea into chaos. One life for one world. A fair exchange! Wouldn't you agree?
Lest you forget, you've more than one opponent.
Carbuncle! The defend me!
I sense you will offer more than mere target practice, unlike your sister.
Alisaie!
Did I not tell you, Alphino? I am not the girl I once was. My brother was always the clever one, while my talents lay elsewhere. If you would dare to stand against us, to destroy all that we hold dear, then you shall die by my sword!
Let's finish this.
Let's do it!
There's no escape!
It ends now.
It ends now. What?
The chains!
You snake! You would betray us as well?
He that holdeth fast unto his convictions shall never count betrayal amongst his crimes, though all the world may call him villain. My path is unchanged, my creed sacrosanct. This I believe with all my heart. But say, warrior of darkness, and speak true, what dost thou believe? That rendering up the souls of thy world in service to the rejoining will grant it salvation? Nay.
By the 12! Urianger!
Mine apologies, Master Alphinaud. That the brightest light might shine, duty did compel me to walk in darkest shade.
You sweet fool. I was almost willing to believe you had turned against us. I expect a full explanation when this is over. For now, may I assume you have turned your cloak for the last time?
Thou mayest, my lady. By thy leave.
Even odds, then. No matter. We'll crush the lot of you in one fell swoop!
Understood.
Hearken to me. We only have one chance. Channel your ether into my blade that I might strike before the mage casts his spell. I cannot do it alone, but together we can defeat them! Make ready! They come!
How do I get the ether? Oh, like that.
The ether! Oh, it's not enough!
Well, get the Night of Darkness off me then.
With this blade, I banish the darkness.
No. Not like this.
Oh yes, very much like this. Bow before me.
Alisaie, are you hurt?
A touch dizzy, but otherwise fine. Thank you.
And there you have it. Our friend is too stubborn to die.
We are far from finished. Or have you never considered how we came to this world?
Crystals? You mean, like the Ascians?
Just so. As the Ascians flee unto the rift twixt plains with crystals of darkness, so did these warriors come hither with crystals of light.
Eloquent, as always. Aye, like the Ascians, we too are beyond death. You cannot defeat that which is eternal.
Wait!
Such methods as the Ascians employ require the renunciation of the flesh. You would have had to...
At long last you see. To save our world, we gave our lives. We were just adventurers trying to make our way. An odd job here, a favor there. We never aspired to be warriors of light. But word of our deeds spread, and soon people were calling us heroes. They placed their hopes and dreams on our shoulders, and bid us fight for all that was good and right. We fought, and we fought, and we fought, until there was no one left to fight. We won! And now our world is being erased from existence. We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this. You of all people should understand. We will not falter. We brought our world to the brink of destruction, and now we must save it.
I've died before, Arbut. I'm not afraid to die again.
No matter how many times we fall, we must rise and carry on the fight for those we left behind.
To have known the depths of sorrow and embraced the highest sacrifice. Nonetheless, Master Louisoix, guide my hand, I pray you, as fate's thread spinneth upon this most capricious spindle. Quickly! Thou must needs invoke the power of thy crystal.
What is this place?
Such pain. Such sorrow. Oh, my dear children.
It can't be.
Mother Hydaelyn, hearken unto your children's plea. From two worlds do we gather, and from two worlds do we offer a bounty of light. In this desperate hour we do beseech your intercession. We beg an audience with the word of the Mother, with your chosen Minfilia.
Your cries go not unheard, nor your sacrifices unnoticed. Though many are lost, there are
For those we can yet save, whom I can yet save.
Minfilia!
Blessed children of the First, the light of your world hath grown blinding in its radiance, but it is not yet absolute. I will hie me to your world, and there take unto myself the light which riseth even now to drown it, as darkness once did drown another.
Now you deign to answer our prayers? I will suffer this farce no longer!
As the Ascians must serve as instruments of Zodiark's will, so too must others carry out the will of Hydaelyn. But for the boon you have granted her, she has grown strong enough to set me free, that I might serve as her emissary. Your suffering, your sacrifice, your supplications, she has heard all. We will not let the first fall to light. Thank you, Urianger, for bringing everyone here. It fills my heart with joy to look upon the faces of my friends once more.
In taking you unto her bosom, I knew that Hydaelyn had bequeathed to you a sliver of her grace, granting you strength long sought. And in treating with the Ascians, I learnt of a star like unto our own, a doomed world of fallen heroes, in whom I glimpsed ourselves, the first. Full long did I search for a means to save this world, concluding at the last that the answer lay in the power of blessed crystals. And thus did I labor to set light against dark. Yet I knew from the beginning that this salvation would not come without sacrifice. For the instrument of the First's deliverance would of necessity be required to journey thither, there to remain, mayhap forever.
You orchestrated all of this, not to save her, but to send her away!
One life for one world. Such was the bargain, and you the coin, though it were not mine to spend.
Have we not walked together in the light of the crystal, and at her bidding borne witness to the joys and sorrows of this land? Each and every one of you knows my heart. If this be the price I must pay, I pay it gladly.
You would go alone, then?
My dearest Thancred, you who have ever watched over me, I am truly grateful for all you have done on my behalf, as would my father be. Your kindness, your compassion, your love. These are your gifts to me, and our gifts to them, forming a bond which transcends time and space.
Sometimes I forget you are not the child I once knew. Make me proud.
Long have I watched you from Hydaelyn's side, watched as you nurtured and kept safe the light of the dawn. The dark recesses of the world hide untold secrets and dangers. Thus do I entrust to you, Tupsimati. I pray you, keep to the path that you may never have need of it.
Twould seem the power of our crystals is all but spent. Perhaps, if there is naught else to be done.
Hear me, servants of Hydaelyn. If you would have us place our trust in you, then I would ask a favor. Take us with you. Take us home. We were blind to the truth once, so I tell you this, as one fool to another. Light, dark, it doesn't matter. What matters is how you choose to use them. We made our choice and you see what came of it, so please, forge a different path. Seize a better fate.
It is a strange feeling. So many times have I watched you depart, my heart filled with worry. And ever did you return to me in triumph. Someday, when I have found a way to free this star from her sorrow, I promise you I shall repay the favor.
It seems we are in southern Lightning again. Millephin's doing, no doubt. May the 12 speed her on her way, and the Warrior of Darkness too. I cannot help but wonder what awaits those wayward souls. If they gave their lives in order to travel to the source, then returning to the Firs, would they not? But mayhap that was their wish. Forgive me, my thoughts were elsewhere, and this when I know full well there is yet work to be done. The crystals. Leave them to me. I will go back to the Zark and secure them. The Amaja will still be in disarray after the thrashing the Warriors of Darkness gave them. They are not like to notice a lone bard sulking about. But Tancred, you don't have to do this, I know. But I want to. I want to see you at the Rising Stones. I will see you at the Rising Stones. I should go and find Yada and Popolo. They must have finished searching the Meros camp by now. Not that it matters anymore. You must be tired of it, Logan. I know I am. If thou wilt permit me, my lady, I would ask a question. When didst thou become aware of my independent pursuits? When I saw you meeting with the Warrior of Darkness and the Ascian and the White at the Great Library. I tried not to think the worst. You've never been one to confide in others, so I knew that even were your intentions pure, you would not share your plans with us until you felt the time was right. But I can deny that a part of me feared you had simply betrayed us. But that there had been another way, know that I took no pleasure in deceiving thee, and that these sins will forever weigh heavy on my heart. I understand why you did what you did, that you but sought to achieve the greatest good while inflicting the least harm. Not many would have courage to make that choice. But you knowing what came of your actions, I find that I cannot condone them. I'm sorry. But again, forgive me, but I believe the events of the day have taken their toll on me. I should like to rest for a while. If thou wilt grant me leave, I will gladly escort thee to the refuge of thine own choosing. Once my lady has regained her strength, we shall join thee at the Rising Stones. Until then, Warrior of Light. Well met, Logan. Often have said you would be joining us. To us, seeing the Griffin Devil is telling the truth, and so far we have found nothing resembling a sizable cache of crystals in the mass camp. Do you perchance find the one in Zaharkar? Actually, I don't believe it. The crystals manipulate all of it. It's just, I don't know what it is. I sympathize, Yada. Even now, I struggle to comprehend that which I saw. The only thing I can say with any certainty is that I feel blessed to have been granted a final chance to speak with her. 'Twas brave, sweet, aye, but also affirming. Alvin, I believe it is past time Yada rejoined the Scions. We have been away for far too long. Though I am loath to leave the Griffin to his own devices, I feel our investigation would benefit from you more dispassionate preservatives. I hope that we might in turn offer our own options and meet challenges that you have faced in our absence. Gods has been asked to the agents, hasn't it? I can't wait to hear about everyone's adventures. We should be glad to count them, and Tataru tells me will surprise you. Yada, Bargara be praised, is it you? I, alive and standing here before me in the flesh, I can hardly believe my eyes. Oh, come now, it hasn't been really so long you don't remember. It's Gunvold. I fought beside your father in the revolution. Do not think less of her, friends. It has been 20 years since the occupation sent us our several ways, but the resistance were always welcome to Little Almega. They gave us hope, and young Yada most of all. Yada here was always full of fire, ever the first to volunteer for a mission, until the day she up and vanished, that is. The rumors, and we feared the worst. But here you are, alive and well, looking nary a dark. Well, what can I say? I'm sorry for running off like that, making you all worry. It's a long story, but you see, I got involved with my friends here at the Scions. Oh, sorry, we still called it Circle of Knowledge back then. Right. Anyways, I wanted to come back and tell you, but it was all this secretive stuff at the end of time, and I can see completely fine. I know that we've got lots to talk about, and we will, but now I got to hurry back to our headquarters. My friends are expecting it. Pray for Gravity. It's been a long day for us all. I promise we will visit again at the first opportunity. Do you mean that you don't have the money to renew it yet? Are you getting ads from me? I didn't even think I'd get ads right now, since I'm not any affiliate. It'll thank me for giving you that mask. Oh. And you can't do anything about it right now, huh? Bummer. Have you got that new car yet? Welcome home again. I trust your journey was uneventful. You'll be pleased to hear that Thancred has secured the crystals he sent a short while ago. Once he delivers them safely in the Temple Knight's care, he will join us here, and we can declare the matter officially resolved. While awaiting your arrival, I took the opportunity to contact Y'shala and Krill and brief them on all the occurrence. I also requested that they return to the Rising Stones at the earliest convenience. Now that our lost friends have been found, it would seem meet to discuss the future. That's good that you got your car. That got the car. Hopefully it's working a lot better. Did you have to take Cody to his dad's today?
Back in the Solar. It's been too long since we were all together like this. Not since...
2002. Old car.
Not since after Moonbreeder.
Much has changed since then. We ourselves, most of all.
Though not all who were lost could be gathered here today, we may take comfort in the knowledge that those who are not are carrying on the fight.
While I am grateful to our friends in the north for their hospitality, it isn't half good to be back.
But, as Papalima rightly said, much has changed since we last stood here. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are not as they once were, nor should we be.
Okay.
Our travels in the north brought us into contact with a host of fine and generous people, and their selfless deeds serve to show me that it is not lofty causes that should inform our actions, but our hearts. And I hope that the Scions might continue in this manner, as individuals driven by individual principles. Provided we all sincerely desire to work towards Eorzea's salvation, I believe the paths we follow to achieve it need not, and should not, be dictated by any single ideal.
Companions bound by a common purpose, free to go whither they will. The idea is not without merit. Very well. I shall resume my research of the primals and the elder gods of Eorzea. Should anyone have need of my findings, you need only ask. I should be glad of your continued assistance.
Well, my main purpose in coming here was to see the Scions of the Seventh Dawn restored and my dear friend found. Nevertheless, having involved myself in your struggles, I feel compelled to see them through to the bitter end. For Minfilia's sake. That is, if there are no objections.
You will always be welcome here, Krile.
Urianger, can we trust you to carry on your investigation of the Ascians as before?
Regardless of mine own desires, I am undeserving of your trust, having so villainously deceived you all.
Now, I'll hear no more of that. 'Twould be disrespectful of Minfilia's wishes. She entrusted matters here to us, that we might protect this star and understand the truth which hides at her heart. Mayhap I can handle the former, but I think you far better suited to the latter. No?
Very well. Then out of love for my Lady Minfilia and Moonbreeder both, this shall be my solemn charge.
Papalimo and I should probably return to Thanalan to keep an eye on the Resistance. There's still the matter of the Griffin and the Amalja, not to mention the new Imperial Viceroy. That little lot must be worthy of our attention, right?
And what will you do, Alisaie?
You know I have no great love for organizations and formalities. That being said, this new approach you propose is not wholly objectionable, and we've always got him to keep us from bickering. But I will suffer no titles. I am not here for House Leveilleur, nor to walk in Grandfather's shadow.
Upon that point, we see eye to eye. If it please you, you may think of me as but another comrade in arms.
Well then, Alfie, I for my part shall see to the paperwork and the finances with my characteristic aplomb.
I would not have it any other way, Tataru. And we mustn't forget you. What now for the Warrior of Light? Indeed.
The path behind us was fraught with hardship, and the path before us will be no less unforgiving. But a new dawn shall break over the realm, and I see before me the faces of those who will deliver it.
Well, pretty sure that's the end of Heaven's Ward. Let's do this part right here real quick. With this being the main storyline, I figure we probably don't need to read it. Especially with just telling him who he is. Okay, follow. Just another ad. Okay, back to the main story quest. Look at them, Logan, the signs of the seventh dawn. Look how far we've come. The people we've met, The moments we've shared, the losses we've suffered, the tragedies we've overcome. All of it has made us who we are today. Where we go from here and what the future holds, only the 12 know. But I know that we will find out together.
One world's heroes are another world's villains. One world's loss, another world's gain. Where men go as one, there is life. And where there is life, my friends, if I may, I would ask that you entrust Tupsimati to me. Clouds gather upon the horizon, and as Master Louisoix's disciple, I would keep it close at hand. Thank you. I shall guard it well. There is cause to hope. For every ending, every parting, marks a new beginning.
Well done, brother. You may resume your normal duties and rejoin the others. The coming battle shall be our greatest yet, and I intend to stand with you all on that glorious day. Troop leaders are so readily led. I've given them everything they desired, all for which they have prayed. I doubt you can say the same for your pawns. Get what you wanted then? Was it all worth it in the end? There were some unexpected developments, but they were ultimately to our advantage. To be honest, the sufficient of light or dark, a world beneath of equilibrium is but a world void of waiting, and avoided no use to the master. I shall follow her. As for the pawns from you so pity, they had delivered unto me a gift, which I do now present to you. The eyes of Nidhogg, many were Candace considered, but your deeds you have proven yourself the most deserving. A man of boundless rage, bottomless despair, and whose breast beats a heart from thirst and vengeance. Only you are fit to wield those eyes for a wheel of woe. The next expansion dealing Nidhogg some more? So it's here all along. Oh, just you wait, my pretty. You and I are going to have so much fun. Logan, just the hero I wanted to see. Would you mind me doing a small favor? I need you to meet me at Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. Ooh, another quest. Okay. Now let's go back to doing the main story again. I'm sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, it won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments. Alright, everyone, ready to go to work? No scoring now. Oh, and you might want to close your eyes. hee 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 hee. There, all finished. The warrior lights every measurement from hair head to interior toe. Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, Logan. All in good time. Haha, found you. Alderman wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it is about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on, we have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting.
We're here. Did we miss anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Urianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphinaud, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elisée. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Oh, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our number step forward? Must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede he might struggle to balance his new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness! Help! I need some help here!
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... Y'shtola! Please, you have to help her.
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again.
Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. But I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan Resistance. I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I should depart for Limsa Lominsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphinaud and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She would duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emeric, and encourage him to send an envoy. To Taru, Krile, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
I suspect the ill tidings from Gyr Abania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Okay, I kind of think I'm going to call it there. I will be on at some point tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be on during the day or just at night, but I will be on at some point tomorrow. So let's see, who should we raid? I was wondering when your next stream was going to be. Well, you have a good stream then, Arya. If I'm still kicking around, I'll stop by for a bit. And that person, they just got off. um... I looked at this person a couple times, so we'll go ahead and go to sauce of the roll. Alright, have a good night, and if I see you on before I get going, I will stop by. See ya.